Hello, hello. Zoe Flowers here, back with another reading. Whoa. So, okay. That's interesting. So, I got a new deck. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So, Zoe Flowers has another new deck. So, this one is the Tarot of the Orishas by Zolrak Durkheim. So this isn't a deck that I was driven to buy. For a long time, I used the Afro-Brazilian deck, which is more of a candomblé deck. I actually became a tarot reader with that deck. I had another deck before that, which was like this interesting futuristic / art deco deck that I got when I was living in Florida. And something about it never really resonated with me, but I kept it. And then I can't even remember who had the Afro-Brazilian deck. Somebody had that deck and it really resonated with me. So I went ahead and I got the deck, and very different than the traditional archetypes of the Rider-Waite Tarot. So it took my intuition to the next level. Like, it just took my intuition, because the Rider-Waite was so different. I hadn't even really looked at the Rider-Waite, I don't think, at that time, but I used that deck for years. And then I started using oracle decks, and by the time I got my Rider-Waite deck, I just started really working with the Rider-Waite deck in 2018, because it's 2021, yeah, 2018. And so by the time I got my hands on the Rider-Waite deck, I was like, oh my God, this is why. Oh, and this is the Rider-Waite imagery, right? So I was like, it was very simple. Everything made sense. Like, there's still a lot to learn. Like, I'm still learning, and I don't know if you ever fully can know the tarot or astrology or things of that nature. I always see myself as a student. Even like my astrology teacher, he's been doing astrology for about 30 years, he said, and he's still learning. And it's like that with the tarot as well. Every time I look at it, I see something different. So when I first looked at the tarot, I looked at, there we go. Okay. When I first started reading tarot, I just looked at, so let's look at the Ten of Wands. Let's look at the Ten of Wands. Where are you? It's opposite, of course. So let's look at the Ten of Wands. So you look at that, and you know that that is, the Nine of Swords, right? You can look at that, and you know that is not a great card, right? You don't even have to be a tarot reader to know that that's not an amazing card, right? You can just tell by the person with their hands over their head. We've all been there, right? And so you know that, they're in bed, they're not sleeping, so that's a person that's not sleeping, or they're having a fitful sleep, or they're up all night, right? But then, once you get to know the tarot and you know the suits, so then you know, okay, swords are thoughts, right? And so it's like, oh, okay, so the person's thoughts or ideas might be keeping them up all night, right? Then you find out, oh, the swords represents air. And now we understand, oh, now it's connected to the element of air. And then you find out, oh, and it's also connected to astrology, air, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It also works with numerology, the number 9. So you're almost there. You're almost to the end of a cycle, but you're not quite there yet. So depending on the other cards in the reading, right? So what I'm feeling right now is this could be a person who they're almost at the end of they're almost at the end of the cycle, they're almost at the end of the trauma, but they're keeping themselves stuck by the thoughts that they're thinking about the trauma that they experience, right? Then again, as you continue to read and you continue to learn, then you realize, oh, and there's pomegranates on the blanket. Now, for me, right, depending again on the reading, so a pomegranate could be like, so what comes to mind here, and it's interesting, like what comes to mind here when I think about the pomegranate, I think about Persephone and how Persephone was tricked into being in the underworld, right? Because she was gifted a pomegranate. She ate that pomegranate, and then in Greek mythology, she was trapped in the underworld by the pomegranate. Could it be that this person is trapped by their own thoughts? Or pomegranates also can mean abundance and good things, right? Could this person be trapped because they don't see the good things that are coming, right? So there's so many things that you can learn the more you learn tarot. What else is interesting here? There's also, let's see, what else is interesting? Oh, okay. So here, this is the 3 of Wands. So we know Wands is fire. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, right? Now we could tell, okay, this person's looking off into the sunset, they're looking off into the boats, maybe they're contemplating what actions do I need to take to get to wherever it is I want to go, whatever destination it is that I want to go to, right? This could be a part of travel. When we see mountains in the distance, mountains means growth in the tarot. So there might be some growth that the person needs to do in order for them to get to the destination that they want to reach. But we know that they have the potential to reach their destination because we have buds on the wands. We have leaves, new life, right? Also evidenced by water, new life. Right? So there's so many things, and then you can also read the background colors like golden energy, the little blue here on his coat, the red here, and then the green. Why are those colors there? What do those colors mean, right? So for me, this might mean the fire that he needs to do. Or maybe this means sacrifice. Maybe he needs to sacrifice something. Maybe he needs, because his shoes are red too. Maybe he's not putting enough, maybe he doesn't have enough skin in the game. Maybe he hasn't shed enough blood. So we think of blood, sweat, and tears. Maybe he hasn't done enough to get there yet. It depends. It depends on what the other card. This is just what I'm feeling right now. But then we have the green. Could this be resources on the other side of that, mountain? Who knows? What does this blue mean? Could that mean a blue sky? Blue skies meaning new hopes, dreams, etc. Are close at hand, right? The new hopes and dreams, he's holding on to this wand, right? So again, is the blue sky, which is also a new beginning that they want, that they're hoping for, directly related to the action that they take, right? So that's just a little bit of, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Now, why is this? Okay. So I don't know why my live was locked. that's really weird when it should have been public. So I was just giving a little Tarot 101. And so what I was saying is, when you look at the Tarot, one of the things I love about the Tarot is things aren't always as they seem. And so one of the things I was saying is that, so I just got this new deck, the Tarot of the Orishas by Zorak Durkan. This was not a deck that I really wanted, because I had an Orisha deck, the Afro-Brazilian deck, which was my first real deck. It's really the deck that I taught myself on. It is an extremely obscure deck, and the images are very different than the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. And so I used that deck for years. And so by the time I got to the Rider-Waite deck in 2018, and I started reading Tarot in I got my first Tarot deck. I was still living in Florida, so that would have been around 2008, 2009. And I got that Afro-Brazilian deck just after I moved to New York. So that would have been around 2012 or 2013 when I got that Afro-Brazilian deck. And that was the deck that I really used. And then I got the Rider-Waite deck in 2018, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was 2018. And so what I was saying is, by the time I got to the Rider-Waite deck, I had already pretty much taught myself on this very obscure deck that the archetypes were completely different than the Rider-Waite. So one of the things I was saying is that the thing about Tarot is that, for me, when I saw this compared to the deck I taught myself on, the Orisha deck I taught myself on, an Orisha deck. When I got this, I was like, oh, I know what this means. This is super easy. This is like so easy, right? I could look at this, I could say, oh, this person wants to go somewhere. This is a part of going somewhere, right? That's just at first glance. And then you learn a little more, right? And you know that the wands are fire, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Then, and you know that the wands have to do with action. And then you learn more, and you're like, you start to read colors. And it's like, oh, well, what's up with this cloak? Why is his cloak red? Why are his shoes red? So again, this is about fire, right? The wands are about fire. Maybe he needs to make a sacrifice. Meaning maybe he needs to do more, maybe he needs to have more skin in the game to get the action that he wants, right? We know that there's growth that's needed because we see the mountains in the background. Mountains means growth. There's water here with boats, right? So his destination might be close at hand. When I see this blue sleeve, this makes me think blue sky, new beginning. Is his or her new beginning close at hand, right? The new actions that they want to take? Is his blue sky close at hand, but he has to take new action? He has to do things differently? So those are some of the things that you learn as you become deeper into the Tarot. You start looking at everything. So I say all that to say that that's part of the reason why I wasn't too excited about this deck was, one, the imagery. I wasn't really feeling the imagery too much. And I already have an Orisha deck. That's perfectly fine. But I was called to buy it 2 weeks ago. I went to the store to buy something else. I saw the deck. I also know that a lot of my people, my friends, a lot of them have this deck. They love it. So I was like, maybe this is just one of the decks that I need to have just in my collection. Well, I did a reading on it yesterday, and it was so on point. And I did it for a person. I wasn't even intending to use this deck with people, but it was very on point, and I used it as the last card of the deck, and it just put a bow on everything from the whole reading. So I was like, oh, that's the purpose of this Orisha deck. This Hoodoo Tarot, this is my ancestor deck. Again, I've had this deck now for months, and it's just now revealing its purpose. It's so interesting how the Tarot, they reveal their purposes for you. So this is my ancestor deck, and this is now my Orisha deck. A lady on YouTube said she made all of the Orisha brown that were fair skin. I don't have that kind of energy. Typically I don't really buy tarot decks anymore that either are all people of color or mostly people of color, or at least some representation. And that's again another reason why I wasn't gonna buy this deck. But when I saw this on the cover, I was just going, I don't know about this deck, but it's good. It's good. So I said, oh, and look at Elebba showing up. I work with Elebba heavy. Okay, so we have the 2 of Fire. So this would be the 2 of Wands. Okay? And so this deck works with Jupiter and Sagittarius. Alright? 2 of Fire. 2 of Wands. This is going to be our guidance for Aries season. Oh, and look at the Aries element showing up for Aries season. So again, very different than the Rider-Waite 2 of Wands, which I don't see on here. That's okay. And then we have Elebba. So I'm going to read because, again, this is a new deck and they just might have different interpretations. Okay, so read Elebba first. Okay, so I'm going to read Elebba first because that's what I heard. And the other thing that's interesting, there we go. Is this it? No. Oh, I see. There we go. Now, this is so interesting because in the book, okay, it says Elebba here, and then in the book it says Elebba. So I work with Elebba. But here, it says Elebba. So this is an interesting, yeah. And then they have a shoe as well. Yeah, I work with a shoe as well. Okay. So we're going to see what the guidance is. Elebba is the patron of all doors and all roads. Oh, I already got it. I already know. Oh, Aries season is gonna be lit. I already know. The 2 of Wands. Let me find the 2 of Wands in my other deck. The 2 of Wands has to do with moving forward. It has to do with new journeys, new actions, because again, Wands has to do with action. Oh my God, this is so good. And then Elebba is the Orisha of, Elebba can be the trickster, but Elebba is also about the open road, and the doors are open. Oh my God. And so the message is the doors are open for us, family. The doors are open for us. I already know. All of your work, all of our work, all of our petitions, all of our energies, all of the things that we are working on, we will begin to see in Aries season. That is what this is. Now, again, I haven't read, hold on. Oh my God, this is so good. I haven't had this deck enough to know if there's something that needs to be done. Usually there is something that needs to be done when you're engaging the Orisha, but Elebba is here to tell us the door is open. The door is open. If we are at a crossroads, we need to move on through it. I don't know where that 2 of Wands is. I'm not going to keep looking in this particular deck. Okay, so it says here, Elebba is the patron of all doors and all roads. Because you work with Elebba when you want to open doors and open roads and move forward. Therefore, the magical keys to open the most inviolable locks and the permits to walk the different path that humanity will travel belong to him. His image is to be placed behind or close to the entrance of the house. Yes, Elebba is the warden and protector of villages, towns, cities, houses, and so on. He is made up of, I'm not going to read all that for y'all. What I'm going to read is the meaning. Related to jobs, progress in one's work or job, abundant productivity, profitable advertising campaign. What did I tell you? Your message will be well received. Tempting and practical offers, vitality. When this card is badly influenced by other cards, which it's not, unemployment, lack of work, fatigue, tiredness, loss of energy, abulia, incorrect interpretation of messages, misunderstood communication. But it's not. It's not. Because we started with the Two of Fire. But Elebba said, you're going to read me first. Elebba said, you're going to read me first. Even though I came out second, you're going to read me first. Why you got to read me first? Because you got to go to Elebba before you do anything. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. I love this. Before you do anything, you got to go to Elebba. You got to go to Elebba. You got to do your ritual first. So the message for Aries season is the door is open. The door is open, but here's the thing. Did you do your work? Did you do your work? Did you put in the work? See, because then we got the Two of Fire, which is the Two of Wands. The places you want to go, the people you want to see, etc., etc., etc. It's here. It's here. This is all good news. The meaning just said all good news. Jobs, everything's moving forward. But you gotta go to Elebba first. You gotta do the leg work. You gotta do the leg work. Did you do the leg work? Is your foundation straight? If it is, Aries season is all systems go. It's no need to wonder. It's no need to... It's interesting. I'm hearing Usher. You don't have to call. Ain't nobody you need to call. Ain't nothing you need to do if you've done the work. Oh my God, and I'm just realizing, because this is a new deck, it's a door. It's a door. Okay, now I gotta read the Two of Fire. I gotta read the Two of Fire. Oh my God. Yes, I get excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Two of Fire, aka Two of Wands. A lion and lioness, more fire showing up in fire season, are guarding the entrance to a temple. The lioness is on the left side, representing feelings, and the lion is to the right, relating to actions or deeds. Behind them is a temple belonging to no particular religion, but devoted to true thinking of freedom to act in the world of reason. In many parts of the world, particularly in the East, it is usual to see animals guarding entrances to a village, a house, a city, or a temple. They create an energy field like any photoelectronic cell. Photoelectric. And here's the thing. You also put Elebba behind your door. Elebba is also the guardian of the house. Have you guarded your temple? This is also the message for Aries. Yeah, the door is open. The way is clear. Again, but have you protected your house? I'm hearing balance and checking accounts. How did you use Mercury retrograde? Remember, Mercury retrograde was refreshing our relationships, to refresh and renew our relationships to commerce, communication, and community. So here we now come full circle in Aries season, okay? Where we begin to think about Aries. Aries is a cardinal sign in astrology, meaning it leads us into the next season. It leads us into spring. It also leads us into the element of fire. Okay? So we have, I gotta just do a little astrology dip. So we have Aries, which is cardinal, the leader. It leads us in. It brings us to the door. Then we have Leo. Leo is fixed. Leo is the fixed signs are when you fully experience the element. So we are fully experiencing summer, right? Then we have Sagittarius, mutable. And that's when we're in between seasons, right? And so the mutable signs like Gemini, they're like in between, right? So Aries season is asking you, who's protecting your house? Who's protecting your foundation? Who's protecting your temple? And if you have not begun to shore up, remember, you got to go to Elebba first. If you have not followed the proper procedures and the lessons and the teachings of Mercury retrograde, okay, refreshing your ideas of money, refreshing your ideas of community, refreshing your communication, it might be kind of tight for you. It might be kind of rough for you. Alright? That is the message for Aries season. Meaning, upright, which it was, need to join forces for mutual understanding and protection. Again, who's guiding your house? Companionship in a new enterprise or job, the joining of feelings compared to our deeds expresses a logical, equivalent, and rationalist attitude. If you put these principles into practice, what did I say? Your dominion and your achievement will increase. Whoever crosses this entrance may also cross different frontiers. The cookies are in the armoire on, I think, the third shelf, because this can also be a card of travel. I wish I had my modern witch tarot so I could show you that Two of Wands. This is the good thing about having so many decks. You have different perspectives. Did you find the cookies? Okay. You need anything? I'm about to finish this. Alright, there's the Two of Wands. Where is that Two of Wands? Yeah, that's it. I done said everything I had to say. That is what Aries season is about. This is so very exciting. Wow. I knew March was going to be a turning point. I knew March was going to be a game changer. March is a game changer. And we have to do and we have to make sure our foundations are tight. This is the Two of Wands. And this isn't even the this is the Three of Wands, which it's funny because I started out talking about the Three of Wands and then the Two, right? And so this is pretty much the same as the Two of Wands, except it's two, obviously, right? But this is, look at this. She's looking in faraway places. There's the globe. Look at that. There's the mode of transportation, right? She's got the surfboard. Surfboard. There's water here too, right? So it's a journey, right? Where are our actions taking us? Our actions are taking us exactly where we want to go. Card said you got dominion. The dominion, the achievement, all the things we're looking for are here. We just have to make sure we're guarding our temple. And that's it. That's all I got. March is a game changer. I hope this resonates. If nobody told you today, you are loved. You are worthy of love. Don't let anybody tell you different. And I'll see you next time. Bye.